Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider, getting that frustrating F0E7 Clothes Detected error on your Whirlpool or Maytag washer, the one that's blocking your clean washer cycle. I'll show you exactly how to fix it in the next 8 minutes, and most of the time it won't cost you a penny. Good news is, most of the time this isn't a major mechanical failure like you might think. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group. Links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. So, the most common cause, and trust me, I've seen this countless times, is there's actually something still in that washer drum. Now, here's the thing about the clean washer cycle, it's got to run completely empty. No clothes, no towels, not even a single sock. I had this customer last month call me in a panic about her F0E7 code, spent 20 minutes on the phone troubleshooting, and you know what we found? One washcloth stuck way down in the back of the tub. The sensors are so sensitive, they'll pick up even tiny items like hair ties, coins, or small pieces of fabric caught in the drum holes. What happens is the machine does a load detection check right at the start of the clean washer cycle. If it senses any resistance or weight, even just a few ounces, it throws the F0E7 code to protect both your clothes and the machine. Here's your systematic search. First, run your hand completely around the drum rim. That's where socks love to hide. Next, check every single drum hole by poking your finger in. Coins and hair ties get stuck there. If you have an agitator, lift it slightly and check underneath. Finally, shine your phone's flashlight all around the tub bottom. Trust me, I've found everything from bobby pins to Legos hiding in these washers. Once it's completely empty, the error should clear and you can run your clean washer cycle normally. Now, if your drum is completely empty and you're still getting that F0E7 code, we're probably dealing with a software issue. This is way more common than you'd think, especially on the newer smart washers. There's actually a known technical service pointer, W11564098, that addresses this exact problem. What's happening is the control logic gets confused and thinks there's a load when there isn't. I remember this guy with a Maytag MVW 7230 who was ready to replace his whole control board because of this error. Turns out all he needed was a firmware update. Here's your 15-minute fix. Download the Whirlpool or Maytag app on your phone, then connect your washer to Wi-Fi. The app automatically finds and installs any updates. Just hit allow when it asks. Once that's done, run a factory calibration cycle. This resets your washer's brain so it knows what empty feels like again. I'll put links to both apps in the description below. This basically teaches the sensors what empty looks like again. The whole process is free and takes about 30 minutes. Way cheaper than replacing a $300 control board, right? If you've checked for items and updated the software, but you're still getting F0E7, then we're looking at dirty sensors. These washers use optical and motion sensors to detect loads, and over time they get gunked up with detergent, film, lint, and hard water minerals. Think about it. All that soap residue and mineral buildup from your water creates this film over the sensor lenses. The sensors can't read properly, so they're sending noisy signals to the control board. The board interprets this as something's in there when it's really just dirty sensors. I had this lady whose machine kept throwing F0E7 even on an empty tub. We opened it up, and those optical sensors looked like they had a milky film over them. Here's the fix, but first, unplug your washer for safety. You'll need to access the sensors, which usually means removing the top panel or console. Use a soft cloth with some isopropyl alcohol to clean the sensor lenses. Be gentle. These things are more delicate than they look. These sensors cost $50 to replace if you damage them, so take your time. Once you've cleaned them, run a clean washer cycle within a fresh tablet or similar cleaner to get the residue out of the hard to reach areas. All right, if none of those fixes worked, then we're probably dealing with actual hardware failure. This is the least common cause, but it does happen. Usually, it's either the lid lock assembly or the main control unit. The lid lock can fail to engage properly, which confuses the machine about the tub's state. You might see F5 error codes along with the F0E7. The control board can also fail. Sometimes a triac shorts out in the motor circuit, or a failing drain pump can actually kill the main board. Don't ask me how I know that one, but I've seen drain pumps take out $300 control boards. If the lid won't lock at all, that's probably a $25 to $50 lid lock replacement. Pretty straightforward DIY fix. But if you're dealing with control board issues, that's getting into the $150 to $300 range, and you'll
You'll need to
want to
press the
test
3 keys
voltages
in
to
order
confirm
3
the
times in a row
diagnosis.
in
At
8
that point,
seconds or
especially if your
less.
washer's
If
over
you've done
5
this
years
right, the
old, you
whole
might be
UI
looking
will
at
light up.
replacement
Every
rather than
button,
repair.
signal.
If you need to replace the lid lock, you're looking at about $25 to $50 for the part. This is actually a pretty straightforward DIY job if you're comfortable with basic tools. The tricky part is accessing it. You'll need to tilt the washer back to get to the lock mechanism underneath. Labor at a shop would probably run you $100 to $150, so doing it yourself saves you serious money. If the sensors themselves are damaged beyond cleaning, replacement sensors typically run $50 to $150 depending on your model. The labor to replace them can get pricey though because accessing these sensors often means partially disassembling the washer. If you're handy with electronics and comfortable taking things apart, it's doable. Otherwise, you might want to call someone like me. This is the big one. If you need a new control board, you're looking at $150 to $300 for the part alone. Add another $150 for labor, and you're pushing $450 total. Here's the thing though, on washers over 5 years old, that's getting close to replacement territory. And here's what really gets me. I've seen people replace these boards when all they needed was a software update. Always try the free fixes first. All right, let's talk about what you're looking at cost-wise if you need to replace parts. The good news is most F0E7 issues don't require any parts at all, just some cleaning or a software update. But if you do need parts, here's the breakdown from cheapest to most expensive. Now, you can see right there on your screen the most common models that have these F0E7 issues. The Maytag MVW 6230 and MVW 7230 series are really notorious for the software glitch problem. There's actually that technical service bulletin I mentioned specifically for those. The newer Whirlpool smart top loaders in the WTW 7120 series also see this a lot. If you spot your model up there, pay special attention to the firmware update solution. That's probably your fix right there. Your F0E7 fix checklist. Start with the 2-minute tub search. This works 65% of the time. Smart washer owners try the app update next. That handles most remaining cases. Still getting the error? Clean those sensors. Only consider hardware replacement if your washer is under 3 years old and nothing else worked. Following this order saves you time and money every single time. The key thing to remember is don't panic and start replacing expensive parts right away. I've seen too many people spend hundreds on control boards when they just needed to remove a sock from the tub. If this helped you get your washer working again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.